Well, how are we doing, all of my fishy friends out there? Welcome to my latest episode of Fishing with G. And today you join me on the beach. It's Friday evening. I've just finished work, just popped into Lagoon Bait and Tackle, my local tackle shop, and picked up some frozen lugworm, and I've headed up to the beach because the wind has finally subsided. You can see behind me, you'll be able to see it a bit better when I go a bit closer later on, but there's not too many waves, a little bit of a swell on, but it is a beautiful sunset. It's just nice to be outside in the fresh air. And all I'm hoping to do today is to catch a sea fish using my carp fishing stuff. So my ST carp rods and my one tackle box. So I'm basically just testing the systems on this episode to see if I can, and if I have packed the right stuff, and if I can go sea fishing with my equipment. So we will see. I don't know if my tripod's going to hold up. That's made out of a storm stick and this little tripod adapter, so that's going to be a test. I've got a bite alarm stuck on top of the tripod as well as my rest head, so we'll see if that works. It's an experiment, people. It is an experiment, but welcome to the show. Let's see if we can catch some fish. I'm going to enjoy a couple of hours in the fresh air. I hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, so we need to get our equipment out. There's the worm that I got from Lagoon Bait and Tackle. I've got my little bait bucket there that I'll take with me, chuck that inside. So I've got a bait bucket, pop it to the side there. Got my tackle box, so I'm going to need this. We'll take that down to the beach. That should have everything that I need in there. Just close these straps down. There we go. Cotswold Aquarius straps on a beach. Who would have thought it, eh? I'm bringing carpiness to the beach, people. Carpiness to the beach. Right, so that's that. So seat box with the bait bucket. And then the other thing that I'm going to need is my rods. Just going to take one rod with me. That is all I'm going to need. Well, actually I've got two of them in there, so I may as well take the two rods. I'll just take my holder with me, shall I? Take that. There we go. So same thing as before, people. I mentioned this in the last episode, but you know, I've got one tackle box, which is my seat box, one set of rods, so a set of carp rods. I do actually have two different bait buckets, just because I don't want to mix up the stinky sea baits with my nice NutriBaits carp baits and stuff. But yeah, and then we're going to head over June, it's not too far, and enjoy a nice pleasant evening on the beach. So the rigs that I'm going to be using for this session couldn't be simpler, and what I've done is, because of this challenge where I've got to use the equipment in this one tackle box for all of my fishing for the rest of the year and all different species, I couldn't carry loads of different components. So what I've done is actually bought some of these Trident, I don't know if it's going to pick that up, but these are Trident rig bodies, and they come all pre-made and they're cheap as chips as well. I think I paid $14.99 for 11 of these, which if you compare that to the carp fishing world, you know, you'd be paying probably £6 a leader, and I've got 11 of these pre-tied leader things. And I don't know if this camera's going to pick it up, but let's have a little look. You've got a little clip at one end, and then that goes onto, that's crimped onto this rig body here, which is about 1 metre long. And in the middle of that rig body, you've got the lead clip, which is on a pulley. So that slides like so. Say lead clip actually, that would be clipped onto the swivel on a pulley rig, but it can be used as a lead clip. And on the other end, I've got my swivel there, which is where the line will be tied to, and the hook will be attached to that line, like a hook link. So what I'm going to do is, the way that this will work, in fact, actually, what I'll do is I'll wait until it's on the rod, because then you'll be able to see it a bit. Hold fire, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back with one I made earlier. So on here, this is my braid, which goes onto the rod, obviously, and it comes down onto this pulley. Now that pulley can run up and down on this white leader. I've got my hook link attached to this side, and basically what happens is the hook comes down, and the hook actually clips onto the weight. So if I bring it up there, the hook clips onto the weight just here on this quick release. So when the lead lands in the water, that'll push the collar up and release that hook, and it keeps it all nice and streamlined in flight. It's called a pulley rig. But yeah, I got these rigs here all pre-tied, all made. The only thing you've got to do is put the hook link on and the hook, and they look really, really good. The other thing that I like about them as well is, I'll just quickly show you this, is for when I'm out on the boat, or if I'm dropping the rig down, say off a pier or something like that, and I don't want to cast it as a pulley rig, what I can do is take the lead, sorry I have to talk with I can put the lead onto the, hang on, I can put the lead onto the pulley, and I can put the swivel from the main line onto the top clip like so, and all that does is just create one long running ledger like so. Perfect for fishing off the boat. I can even use that as an up trace for the pike, I reckon. So again, you know, I'm thinking outside the box here, thinking about just carrying a minimal kit that would double up for different types of fishing. And this one, I can cast this pulley rig off the beach long distances, it'll be absolutely fine. And I can also use the same trace, the same pulley system, just using it in a different way. And I can fish that off of piers and off the boat as well later in the year when I can get out there. But it looks good. The waves aren't too big at all. There's a bit of swell, a little bit of tide running. I've got about an hour until high tide. But the sunset is beautiful. I'm going to turn this camera around in a second and get a nice little time lapse of that sunset, because it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to get the rods all set up and baited. What I will just say about the rigs, just whilst I've got a bit of daylight, is I am actually using small circle hooks here. These are 2.0 circle hooks, complete circles. And the reason for that is I really want to try to avoid deep hooking these whiting right down in the gut here. I much prefer to release the sea fish if I'm not going to take them home for the table. And these circle hooks are great. They just nick into the very corner of the mouth and allow you to unhook the fish easily and avoid deep hooking. So I'm using a little circle hook. Never done it before for whiting and smaller fish, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, right, I'm going to get set up. I'll leave you guys to enjoy this beautiful sunset. I'll catch up with you in a bit when the rods are out. Well, I haven't had any bites yet, and there's a beautiful sunset like I showed you earlier, but I thought it was a seal that popped up, but no, there's a guy in just a pair of board shorts swimming. It's like the 5th of January or something, and he's out there going for a little dip just in a pair of boardies. Braver man than me. Here I am all togged up in my thermals and stuff, and he's out there in a pair of board shorts having a lovely time. But hopefully we don't catch him, and that ends up being the first catch of the challenge series in salt water. but I think I'll keep an eye on him as well, because it's not a good idea. I don't think it's a great idea to be going into freezing cold water like this and swimming offshore in just a pair of boardies in January, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. What do you think? Put it in the comments below. What do you think? Is he crazy or is it just me? Well, would you look at that? Let me put the light on. There we go, that's a bit better. Well, we came for a whiting and we got a whiting. There you go. I don't think there's any way that I can hold this to make this look monstrous. It is what it is. It's a little pin whiting, but we came out and we got ourselves a little sea fish. There we are. And he's nice, he looks in the top lip as well, which is nice. So I'm going to unhook him and then pop him back. Hopefully we'll get another one. So I've been fishing for about an hour now and I've had 6 whiting. I haven't got much video footage of them because they've all looked exactly the same, to be honest. But it's just nice being out on the beach after dark, watching that sunset and catching a few fish. The bites are very rattly. They sort of pull down, just rattle on the rod top rather than moving the lead because of their size. But what I've been playing around with is actually using the bite alarm and the springer. Now that springer, as the name suggests, has actually got a spring inside the boss of it, which allows you to tension how much it pulls down on the line. And I've been quite surprised at how unaffected by the waves and stuff it's been and how good it's been at registering bites. When you get a definite pull down on the whiting and they sort of give it a pull and a good rattle, the alarm goes off, and I've not had that many false indications. Now I know it's not that windy tonight, I know it's not that much wave and tide action and stuff, but yeah, I'm just playing around with it, just a little bit of fun. But yeah, 6 fish so far, nothing to write home about, but as I say, it's just nice being out on the beach and enjoying a Friday night, listening to the sounds of the waves and seeing what comes along down at the beach. Right, we're back to titty cam. Had a proper good old hit on the bait just a second ago. We'll have to wait and see if it develops a bit more. I'm going to try out my little GoPro light. I just bought this from the GoPro store. How bright is it? That's alright, it just sheds a bit of light on things. I'm going to go through in later episodes what head torches I'm using, because actually, do you know what, I'm going to do quite a few product reviews, because I've used all sorts of products in the 35 years that I've been fishing. I've sort of like have settled on my favourite ones. So we'll do a few little product reviews about head torches, alarms, reels, rods, that sort of stuff. Why not? I've got the GoPro studio set up now, so why not? But let's see if this develops into a bite. Oh, there we go. That's another big old knock on the rod tip. And the R4 gave a little bleep, letting me know something's happening. Right, let's see what's on the end. Oh, it's just fallen off. There he is. Look at the size of that little thing. What is it? That is the smallest whiting I think I've ever seen. Let's move back, we're going to get a booty. And that, let's make sure he goes back. There he goes. Go on, little fella. I might pick him up. Oh. That was close. I almost got a booty. Oh, he's back here. Yeah. Well, we're back to the old titty cam, so you can see what I'm seeing. It's really pleasant here, just sat down on the beach. We've got over this way, got Brighton in the distance over there, Worthing down there, and then rod in front of me. I think I've got another fish on here. The old bite alarm's been signalling. A few bleeps, the end of the rod has been rattling. Just get up. Oh, I don't know if it will pick it up. The end of the rod there. Probably not, but it does look like there's another fish on there. So what we will do is just give it a couple more minutes and then give it a check, because sometimes what they do is those small whites and they come along. Oh, that's a rattle there. Oh, there you go. That was a bite, definitely. So pick it up, and I'm just going to hold the rod like so. See if I can feel one there. Getting a few little taps and knocks. Yeah, it's definitely something tapping on that. It's really weird coming from rolling meat where I'll be hitting this to now being at the sea and having to let them take a bit of time to actually take the worm. But I think we'll lift it up, see if there's one on there. Well, there we go everyone, that was the first session saltwater fishing with my carp rods and my challenge equipment for this year, and to be honest I don't think it could have gone any better. Had loads of fish, loads of little whiting. Yes, they weren't massive, they weren't that exciting, but you know what, I really enjoyed myself. It just goes to prove that I can use the fishing equipment on the beach this year, so I'm chuffed about that, because I was a little bit dubious that it wouldn't work, but it did. And also the bite alarm, I know it's a bit unorthodox, but it worked fine. You know, using that little tripod and the bite alarm. Yes, there weren't massive waves and stuff, but to be honest, I'm probably not going to be using that equipment in big rough seas from the beach or anything like that in the future anyway. So, you know, really happy with the way that went. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. There will be a few links in the description below the video for some of the products that I'm using if you are interested in that. But I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, follow the progress of me. That's my first sea fishing session with my challenge equipment, and I look forward to lots more to come in 2024. Take care guys, peace out.